fucking the wankery around acting is putrid.
In what sense?
In every sense.
Yeah.
As Greg Fleet got kicked out of NIDA, when they went round, when they went round the room, they just had to say what was acting to you. And when they got to Greg Fleet, he said, putting on other people's clothes and lying. And that's why. And that.
That's gold.
Yeah, it's the best.
So you move into doing stuff for Working Dog.
Yeah. So they see me do. I do. Thank God You're Here. So my job, when people don't know, there's a show called Thank God You're Here, and people would walk in. They were in a scenario they didn't understand. It was a show about bullshit, and I was one of the people in the ensemble that, when they walked in, would sort of guide them through it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was my job.
And then you started working with Tony.
So on the same weekend, Tony met me. I was a reader at auditions. I couldn't get an agent, but I could read against opposite people who were going for auditions. Yeah, because I couldn't get an agent, but I was hustling. I wanted to get in, right?
How old were you at this time?
23?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then I'm still at uni. I'm still driving the trucks. I'm a Black Thunder driver.
That's right.
I'm a Black Thunder driver.
Yes, you're a Black Thunder driver for Triple M.
And Today FM. So both. Yeah. I did both. So anyway, I'm at this audition and I'm reading for Mick's film Boytown. And somehow Mick's people heard me on the other end and go, turn the camera around, give that bloke a go. And I got a role with my best friend, Josh Lawson, who's a proper actor.
Yes.
Right? So my first role was with Josh in the Mick Malloy movie. Mick Malloy was a fucking hero of mine. I couldn't believe my luck.
God.
Yeah, and at the party for that film, it's one of these sliding doors moments. This is what I'll say to people who haven't fucking switched off already. Or if you're in the gym, do another rep. You've got another rep in you. Do it. Do it. Okay. So I see what you're saying. Sometimes people are putting in your friend, because I'll never forget it. We're at the party for Mick Malloy's Boytown. I see Tony Martin. He's a hero of mine. Late show. Unbelievable. Here we go. I'm going to say hello. This is crazy. Hello, I'm Ed. Oh, hi. Yeah, you're in the movie. Yeah, I'm in the movie. Yeah. What do you do? Oh, I work at a video shop. Tony, what's your favourite movie? And I'm 23 or something like that, right? And I say With Nail and I, which is a British comedy from 1982.
Yeah.
It's obscure. People love it, but it's fucking obscure. And he goes, what? Why? And I'm like, that's really funny. And then he just calls me up and goes, hey, remember me? I'm Tony from the party. I'm like, yeah? He goes, you want to come do radio with me? And he said over time, he said over time, it was because I'd lied and said I was a panel operator, right? I've told this story many times.
Yeah.
I wasn't, right? But he said, yeah, you said With Nail and I. And he said, someone your age with your vibe, I just couldn't believe that was the answer you gave. So, I don't know, I just had a feeling. Amazing.
What was the show that you started doing with him?
Get This.
That was Get This.
Yeah. So I got to sit at the foot of the master. Well, two masters, Richard and him and Matt. And, just learn every day about how things can be done.
How did you, because obviously that was a very successful show.
Yeah.
But it was going to this cult audience.
See, that's not true. Our ratings were higher than anything else on the station at the time.
Yes. But the fact is they didn't listen afterwards. That's what Tony was telling me.
Yeah, that's true. And look, one of my great regrets in life, I don't have many, I wish I was more... Tony protected me very much from what was going on.
Did he?
But Tony had a lot of what was going on in his life at the time. I wish I could have been more of a help to him managing all that stuff. I think he thought that he had management and this and that and all these things to do. And then he had this young kid who didn't know what he was doing, who was very green as well. And he felt like he had to protect me from, various things that were going on. Yeah, absolutely. And I wish that I had, and also I haven't really said this before, but I left that show very poorly. I used to have if I suffer from one thing, sometimes the fear gets me. And when I left that show, I had some other sort of personal financial stuff that had gone very, very poorly. And my finances were not good in any way. And if you're from the sort of, not that I grew up hard or anything like that, but if you come from somewhere where finances aren't something that you take for granted, it can, and people will be nodding to this as they do their weights. You can do another one. So at a plate. So you can get, and I'm much better than I used to be, you can get very scared very quickly that you are going to be broke and there is no money and what the fuck are you going to do? And it can pile on top of you very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And that happened to me at that time. The show finished. I thought I'd never work again. I had debts. I was freaking out. I fucking help put money into this film that was going to be made. And I just fucking lost my head. I just completely lost my head. I got offered something else somewhere, and it was a good opportunity, but I didn't manage my friendship with Tony in a way that, I was very proud of at the time. I didn't, I didn't honor the care that he'd put into me back to him at that time.
What happened?
Well, it was a strange machination of, there was some communication issues as well. What should have happened, I should have rung Tony and said, mate, look, let's just get together. What's going on? Like, we're not coming back. What are we going to do? Is there anything for us?
Yeah.
If there's not, I'm fucking freaking out. I do want to work, that type of thing. Just to chat like this now. And I just think that I left him. I'm very happy with the way things. Tony and I are, as we are, but only because I had to reach out subsequently to that and go. I managed that really badly.
And what did he say?
Tony was really good. He had no need to say that's okay. Like, he really didn't, but he did. He had the.
That was a hard time in both of your lives because Richard Marsland had committed suicide.
Well, see, that's the other
there's
thing.
so much that
there was a lot going on.
There was so much
Tony
going
had personal
on.
things as well. We all had things going on, right? But it's a message. If anyone's listening to this still, whatever, it's like, that, and this is something that Dave Hughes doesn't get enough credit for.
Yeah.
Dave Hughes picks up the phone and he makes those phone calls. And I've tried to learn a little bit from that, from him as well. He never walks away from a conversation knowing that they're going to be difficult.
Yeah. He
walks to those conversations. And that's something that and Tony does as well, but I just didn't open that door enough at that time. It was some time ago and we're good now, but it's something that I wish I'd handled differently. So whenever people say, oh, get this ended and like that, I probably should, I don't know. In a lot of ways, it was probably, I don't know what would have happened, but ultimately, I don't know. My part in things not going ahead over the journey is worse than I probably would want to admit, if you know what I mean.
Would you have wanted to do something with Tony straight after that?
I don't know. I don't know. Yes, I never not wanted to work with Tony. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was like being around him, apart from anything else.
Yeah.
So I've also, over the years, always tried to make things that Tone could be involved in. So if ever I do a podcast or a film, TV show, anything like that, I always try and have.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's the king.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But that's always, that's something that I could have done better on. Absolutely, I could have.
But I think everything is a learning experience. I mean, I think about it in my own life, even still now. I think, oh, why did that have to happen? Or I could have, I'm learning. We're all still learning. You don't get to a certain age and go, oh, the learning's finished and now it's smooth sailing.
No, that's true.
And you were young.
I know all that. And he said all that. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
We're totally fine. But it's only through his generosity that is the case.
There's this quote by this lady called Maya Angelou who passed away many years ago.
Maya Angelou, I got one. Ready?
Yeah.
When people show you who they are, believe them.
But also,
that's Langbrook's one that she says all the time.
When you know better, you do better. And at that time, you didn't know better.
No, that's
but
true.
now you do,
That's
and
true.
you will do better.
I hope so.